Hello, malt lovers. It's Ralphie here with another whiskey review. That's right. Yeah, I'm not Ralphie. Well, you know that. I wish I was Ralphie. You probably wish I was Ralphie too, because that guy knows how to review whiskeys. Instead, you're stuck with me. My name is Eric. I'm an expat in Seoul, Korea, and well, as you can probably guess, I've got a little too much time on my hands, and I have some whiskey lying around, so I thought, why not do a whiskey review? So, as I mentioned, I'm living here in Korea. It's the Lunar New Year period, which means uh, we had a lot of days off. I basically had the last week off of work. I was traveling in Shanghai, China, and I gotta say, man, these cities are huge. I'm from a small town. I've enjoyed being out here. It's fun to travel around and seeing what people are up to out here because this stuff is pretty crazy. But this Saturday night is anything but crazy. I've got nothing to do. So I thought, why don't I basically do a whiskey review so I've got an excuse to be drinking uh, by myself at home. And maybe we can do something that's a little bit productive or useful for you guys. Spoiler alert, it's probably not going to be useful. I'm not a great reviewer. I'm not one of those guys who can pick up, leather notes and rose infused lavender and, you know, burning tire on the back end with pigeon feather coming over to, I don't know. That's not going to be me. You're going to find out really soon. But if you are like me, you might be drinking this right now because I do this. I get a new whiskey. I search for something out there, like whether it's a written review or a YouTube video. I like to see who else has had this and what do they think. It's fun, right? You see what they're thinking about while they're drinking the same stuff. So this is Black Bush from Bushmills, which is Ireland's oldest whiskey distillery. There it is. Uh, how old? 1608 is when they presumably started, you know, distilling something at that location. The actual company was founded in 1784, which is pretty old, also. So either way, a lot of history there. A lot of history, a lot of whiskey, and we've got a bottle right here. You may have also noticed the whiskey's already in the glass. I got a little overexcited. I'm not very good at this first time. I poured it before I started the video. So anyway, let's get into the review though. So first up, of course, is the nosing, and I will pour a slight bit more just because, I mean, you can't have a video without pouring something into the glass, right? That was all right. There we go. That was better. So one of the things I noticed pretty much right off the bat is, and by the way, like I've been trying to figure out where to put this bottle. Like I was doing research before this video. Where do they put the thing? Is it supposed to be right up close, back? I figured you want to see the whole bottle, so I've arranged for that to be possible. So one of the first things I noticed when pouring this glass is the aroma. It just jumps out at you, which is probably setting expectations too high because I'm having trouble getting to the specifics. But what I will say is when I first got into whiskey, I went the Scotch route. Somehow, I ended up with the Speysides and the Highlands, which is probably good because those, as you may know, they're not peaty, they're not smoky, they're not too challenging. You kind of they've got words like sweetness and dried fruit and things like that, which don't sound too intimidating, and they aren't. They're good to start with. And this Black Bush, it reminds me of some of those early scotches that I had, and I'm talking about things like Glenlivet, Glenfarclas, which I think I must have bought a promotional box at some point. Like you can tell this, I got this glass. Why do I have this glass? I don't know, but. But yeah, I'm actually reminded of the early days, and which is nice because those were good. I enjoyed those. I still enjoy those. So let's take a little deeper. Let's try to get a smell here. So I don't know. There's something. It's like the I don't know. It's like a dried. I feel like people. I feel like this is gonna be dried fruit to some people. There's something about it, or maybe it's like dried grass, or wet grass. Like if imagine you're walking around some farm or something, and it's like autumn, and there's just like grassy, leafy stuff out there, and it's like doing the fall thing where it's just wet all the time. Stuff is decaying, and you got that aroma. I think it's probably that. Yeah, there's some of that in there, and there might be a little bit of banana. I think I could. You could say there's some banana in there, just a little bit. I mean, double check that one, right? That's me trying to go out on a limb. I think there might be some banana in there. But yeah, it's got that. There's a slight sweetness there, but it's just that kind of earthy type of smell. So why don't we take a sip here? Let's see if we can come up with a little something extra on the palate. And I gotta say, I'm not feeling too good about that one. This is not my strong point. Interesting. So two things. First is I want to say there's a slightly peppery thing going on, but I also feel like the what I'm calling pepper is that slight burn, which might just be the alcohol. So did I really identify a pepper flavor? I don't know. Maybe it's just alcohol with another name. But yeah, it's got that. The other thing is the mouth feel is surprisingly light, which is interesting. I mentioned I had a glass earlier or two, and I've had this before and I enjoy it. I don't remember being quite that light on the mouthfeel. It's almost airy in there. You've got that mild alcohol burn, nothing too intimidating, goes down relatively smooth. That's there, but the feel is there's I don't know. It's really just kind of floating in the mouth, um, which is actually the first. It's like the most noticeable thing actually. So let's try one more sip. Try to get some actual flavors here. Let's see if I can find anything. Probably not. I don't think so. Let's see. Um, yeah. The aftertaste, when you kind of get to the end, you're left with a little bit of it just kind of fades into a sweet, syrupy coating on the mouth. But I don't know. In terms of the actual tasting notes, guys, I don't have much for you there. It's similar, like I said earlier. The aroma was similar to those scotches I had in the early days. I'd say the taste is also similar. Um, yeah, yeah. It's just got it's guys. It's whiskey. I mean, this stuff is not exactly. It's good stuff. It's not bad. You will enjoy it if you drink it, but it's not like it's not like the Lagavulin drinking a barbecue in your mouth. It's not like Lafroig when you've got the iodine where you're like you literally are drinking a hospital room in your mouth with the iodine. It's it's just whiskey, but it's good. It's good whiskey, and this stuff, like I said, it's not expensive. $30. Get it for under 40, no problem. So if you're thinking about something to add to your collection, this might not be bad. You might want to take a look. Better yet, if you're at the bar and they have it, it's probably going to be one of the less expensive options. So give it a shot. See what you think. But I would love to hear from somebody else who can actually explain this in a little more detail, because there is something there. There's definitely uh, there's there's something there. It's not like this is just going down totally smooth, but I can't quite pick it apart. So, with that in mind, that's whiskey review number 1. Maybe it'll be whiskey review number 1 out of 1. Maybe there will be never be another one. I don't know. But it was fun making it. It was fun drinking this. And if you are also drinking it, then enjoy. Cheers. And until next time, yeah, check in on Ralphie or somebody else, and come back, and I'll see if I can identify things a little better next time. Thanks.